Yeah.
And then I get annoyed, and then you get annoyed because I'm asking, hey, are you done with this? When you're clearly done with it.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 weeks ago.
I don't know if clearly applies there.
So maybe it comes back to just expressing your needs. But if we're never talking about, or rarely talking about, what you need in relationships, and you're writing people off,
Yeah.
you could be writing off somebody that is really good and really good for you.
Yeah.
Really uncomfortable here.
Now it's getting to get good. Boss doesn't know what to do with that. Roy's just sitting down there asleep. He could care less.
Which is crazy. Usually he's the jumpy one.
Yeah. But she's really trying to figure out what she's missing, and she's thinking she might get some attention right now.
Excuse
Not realizing that we're about to do this podcast for a little while. Chit chat a little bit more about the lovely joys of dating.
Right. So here we are again, off of a long weekend of work.
A long weekend of work. Working a conference, doing some audio, moving this equipment, moving that equipment. And then taking about 4 or 5 days to recover.
We're not as young as we used to be.
That recovery period is hitting for real.
And it was cold outside, and
it was cold.
damp outside, and we were outside.
I love me some fall and spring, but we skipped over like fall and spring. We went from hot summer to cold winter. Right. So no, I don't have this coat on for this. I've been wearing this coat inside all day long. I took off the scarf thinking that it would just be a little bit extra for right now, but I kind of want to put it back on.
Yeah.
Plus, it looks good with the look anyway.
The scarf? I didn't see you with the scarf on.
You didn't see me with the scarf on?
No.
It was a rock star look I was looking at with the scarf.
I'll take your word for it.
I know. You'll see it later on. We got to leave the house to go somewhere anyway. It's one I got from Fort Wayne.
Oh, that purple.
That Holly trolley or whatever that thing is.
Oh, yeah. The Shop Small Saturday.
Yeah, Shop Small Saturday.
Yes, shout out to Holly Trolley in Fort Wayne.
Holly Trolley in Fort Wayne. I got it from there. It was supposed to be a kid's scarf, but I like the pattern, so I wear it anyway.
It was supposed to be, I didn't know it was supposed to be a kid's scarf.
Yeah, it's an infinity scarf, but they said it's kid's size. But I'm like, how can you tell with an infinity scarf? It all looks the same. So if I put it on, nobody knows it's kid size.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, and I don't have it on now, so still nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Let's be honest. If you like it, it doesn't matter who it's made for.
It doesn't matter who it's made for.
You're going to wear it.
For kids, for women, for men, I'm going to put it on and rock it.
Right.
And nobody will know. They'll be like, where'd you get that from? I ain't telling you. It's my secret.
Baby Gap.
Baby Gap. Since they have Baby Gap, but apparently no maternity clothes, as we discovered a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Nobody has them in store anymore.
Yeah, they have the kids side and they have the adult side, but they have no side for the preggers. So
not that we're having a baby, because we're not.
Oh, we ain't
not
having
for
a
us.
baby. This wasn't for us. This was for your family member. We're solid on the Utes.
Yeah, right. So should we pull another question?
Yeah, I think you read the last couple, so I'll go ahead and stretch out. I feel like,
or do you want to talk about, since we worked together this weekend, maybe do you want to talk about what that's like to work together? Because you have your thing. You work in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. I have my thing. I work in mental health, and then we work together. And this here's work that we do together. But that was more of
us doing our segmented things in the same place than it was us working together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because we were working together, but it was still me working with sound and audio and then working with equipment that you don't necessarily know how to use or wouldn't use.
There's not even a not necessarily. It's a no. I don't know how to work it.
Yeah. No. You're like, how do I turn this on? I'm like, plug this in, switch that up, do that. And you're like, okay, I'll wait for you. So I guess dealer's choice. I could read the question. I took a sneak peek, which is actually a good question, especially for a friend right now. Or we could talk about working together. Or we could save this one for the next one and talk about working together right now.
Well, I just didn't know if maybe there were like insights or things that you would want to share about working together.
I don't know that there are. I mean, I'm sure there are. There are. How it relates to what we're talking about now in dating and things of that nature, or relationships and things of that nature. I don't know how I would necessarily pull them out as much to say that I know that when we were dating, when we started the process, we were kind of looking at each other, not necessarily for work partners in a sense, but
our worlds did not cross over.
Our worlds did not cross over. But we did, in a sense, say that we were looking for partners who would complement us. And
Mm-hmm.
in that sense, I believe it helps in the professional world as well. Because even though you do therapy, mental health, and that type of thing, and everything you do might be with a client in a room by themselves, quietly alone, and everything I do is almost an external, like my work product is
Yeah.
seen externally by whoever wants to see it.
Yeah.
Where your work product nobody knows except for you and them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so it's vastly different
By law.
by law, vastly different in the essence of the final work product. But I think it almost goes down to what we've said before or alluded to before that we'll get to eventually is the idea of the values and the eternal internal process that you have to go through to get there is similar.
Mm.
Do you understand what I mean?
I think I understand what you mean as far as like the value system to get to where my final product is and to get to where your final product is similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what would you think if we're talking about us working together in thoughts or criticisms or witticisms or opinions or advice or any of that stuff? What is on your mind when you ask that question, or is anything on your mind?
I don't necessarily think that anything is on my mind or was on my mind when I asked the question, but I think we do a decent job of knowing what area is my strength and what area is your strength and helping each other out in those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though this was a woo woo retreat that we were at helping a friend of ours
Yeah, yeah,
and you did sound, I'm still there to help you with the sound.
yeah,
And I was doing more like people stuff and logistical things. You were also just jump in and help out where it needs to be,
yeah,
like where that needs to happen.
yeah.
So,
So, in the lands of strengths and weaknesses, run down the list. What do
of
you?
your strengths and my strengths, and
Sure.
let's call them growth areas, not weaknesses.
Well, yeah, that's better than weaknesses because I was going to say your weakness, but not mine. No. Yeah, we can go down your list. Go down your list. But yeah, strengths and growth areas
For myself,
for both. How do you view it?
working together,
Yeah.
um, I feel like I need some time to think about this because I've never actually considered that in like the work we did this weekend. If I'm thinking back, what that was like.
If I, this is me not even thinking or limiting to last weekend, right? So if I think about last weekend, I'm just thinking in totality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I recognize that we tend to do, which I think is good, is there will be basic conversation or basic statements that someone from the outside could view and say, "Oh, I wouldn't have thought to say that because that seems so simple." To say something like, "Yeah, I left that light on the table. I'm coming back for it in 5 minutes."
Mm.
You know, or to say, "Hey, I need a 25 foot. I need a 50 foot. Plug in a 50 foot, then a 25. You can leave at the end. I'm going to plug in something down there later." But making sure that that isn't an assumed thing. Like, I'm going to plug something down there later. It's an extension cord with nothing plugged into it,
Right.
right?
Right.
Like, it's an extension cord with nothing plugged into it. And at the point you were doing that for me, I think it was day 2. So you had been down there day 1 and had seen where I was sitting and had already expressed the fact that I needed a charger because I didn't have any power down there and
Yeah.
everything was running out of power faster than I thought it would because we were doing things outside and I was having to ride the mixer a lot, which you wouldn't have known about or thought about or even probably, I don't even know if you know what I mean when I say that right now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
Yeah.
think that idea of saying you need a charger down there was a combination. That was a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'd ask me, can you find me a charger or something? And I happen to have
And you happen to have one. Yeah.
my
'Cause
charger,
I
like
didn't
just
have
to
one.
get us through like whatever was left on that seminar or whatever.
'Cause-
Then the next day we were like, why don't we just run one of the extension cords back there?
Right.
And I know you enough to know you don't want the cords exposed, so let me put them behind the wall in the bushes.
Yeah.
Run
So I
back
said run the
there.
cord down there, and
So
I'm
you can
like,
keep it plugged in the whole time.
yeah,
Not have to worry about
run the
it.
black one that you can't see. Don't run the
Right.
big old bright orange construction joint that everybody's gonna look at and look at this hideous crap. You know?
Right. So even though we were outside,
Yeah. I
yeah.
still wanted to look aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
I still wanted to relatively be as unseen as possible because that's not that's not like a concert where you can looking at the array, the spread amps and the spread speakers. You're like, yo, this sounds gonna be dope. That wasn't this type of event. As
No.
much as anything could be hidden, I wanted it non-visible but the first thing I needed was for power to be there.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I need this and this for power. You knew to hide it, but also just to be able to say, I'm going to plug something up at the end of it. Ooh, this tea is hitting me. But also to be able to say, I'm going to plug something up at the end of it, even though you know that's what's going to happen,
Right.
even though I know that's what's going to happen, saying it instead of assuming that you can just figure it out keeps from something else happening.
As we know, I like you to do that around the house too when you leave things around the house. To say, I'm coming back. I left this here. I'm coming back to get it.
Yeah.
Because there's a tendency to forget that we've put stuff someplace. And usually this is how it plays out. I'm thinking, is he going to get that? Is he not going to get it? Is he going to pick it up? Is he not going to pick it up?
Yep.
And I'll finally, after a couple of days, say, hey, are you done with this coaster? And you're either going to say, oh, I'm going to use it again.
Or, I forgot it was there.
That's what happens a lot. So for us,
Sometimes.
it happens quite often.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Let's not get technical and ask for percentage.
No, we're going for semantics. Sometimes.
So, anyways,
if it isn't a tool, then I forgot it.
I prefer one of the things. Yeah,
If it's a
one
tool,
of the
I have
things
it
that
out for a
we've
reason.
talked about in our relationship is I like you to say, "I left this here. I'm coming back for it."
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's you've forgotten about it, or you thought you put it away and you didn't.
Yeah.
And then I get annoyed, and then you get annoyed because I'm asking, "Hey, are you done with this?" When you're clearly done with it.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 weeks ago.
I don't know if clearly applies there. Sometimes.
Oftentimes you're done with it.
Sometimes.
Whatever
I
it
will
is.
say, the caveat though are tools.
Yeah.
If I leave tools out and they've been there for 2 weeks, there's something I've been trying to get done for 2 weeks and I
Yes,
haven't.
that's different. I'll give
Yeah.
you that one.
Yeah, but if it's
I'll
like
give you that one.
if it's like the coaster or the water.
Oh yeah, you leave the water in the sink on all the time. And walk
I've gotten
away.
better. I've gotten better. Hey man, a man's mind is filled. I start off the water to wash out them dishes.
It's your smoothie. It's always your smoothie glass.
smoothie cup.
Always your smoothie glass. That's like your demise.
Because I start to wash the smoothie, and because you can't wash it with the smoothie stuff in it, because then the stuff gets stuck in there. It just gets in there, and you get that little brown, like leftover protein mix. So I'll put it in there to rinse out, and then I go to my computer to finish something, and then 20 minutes later, you're like, it's not usually 20 minutes, but it might be 5 to 7.
It just depends on how soon I've come behind you to find that the water's been
I usually
on.
think that's about 5 to 7 minutes.
It's a couple of gallons of water. It's bad. Anyways,
We should recycle our water. But stuff like that. And no, but I do think
communicating those things, because otherwise we're just going to get annoyed with each other if we don't communicate about them.
It's that natural thing where if you're going to assume something, you're going to assume the worst. It goes back to your dishwasher thing, Am I just not cleaning out the dishwasher because I'm trying to make you do it? No, I just hate doing the dishes.
Right.
Are you leaving your clothes out and not putting them away because
after I've washed and folded them?
After you've washed them and folded them and they've been in holding the laundry basket.
If you're a culprit of that, please put a thumbs up or a hand up in the comments so I know I'm not the only one
that's been in the basket for like 2.5 weeks folded. Meanwhile, I've done loads, washed, folded, put away the same day. 4 or 5 loads, your stuff's still in there.
And then I will go from like the bed, I'm going to put this away. And then like, I'm too tired. It goes back in the basket.
Slowly.
It's always folded though.
I always love when the basket of folded clothes ends up in your laundry, in your closet, but still doesn't get put away. It's just... like, well, they're closer. I got it.
I put them there so you don't see them and you don't rag on me.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I know that's true too.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So
All right.
this is what we are really like. So let's read the question.
I'm trying to
Bore
work my
people any
feet around
longer.
the doggies
Yeah.
and the extra sounds.
So you
Okay.
said a friend of yours
A
needs.
friend of ours.
Okay.
What's the right dating pace? How fast to move things forward?
I don't think there's a. I think that's what you're comfortable with.
Explain. How do you know what you're comfortable with? If you've never found the right dating pace and you've never been around a person that makes you think, oh, I want to marry you or I want to actually be with you long term, how do you know what comfortable is? You've been uncomfortable the whole time.
Remember that conversation we had about instead of assessing, does this feel right?
Mm-hmm.
Just assess, how does this feel?
Mm-hmm.
And going with assessing like what you're experiencing internally. I think a lot of times we're not stopping to assess what's going on with us internally,
Mm-hmm.
and we're pushing it aside. And this is why not everybody, but lots of people have dysregulated nervous systems because we're rarely stopping to say, what am I experiencing internally? And we push it aside and we keep moving and we, bootstraps, and we keep going forward and we override our nervous system. We let our mind override our nervous system.
So let's say you have a highly anxious person.
Okay. Like anxious attachment.
No, just overall in life, they're just
Okay.
anxious.
Okay. Got it.
Not anxious attachment, they're just anxious. And they feel as though they've never had the relationship, at least romantically, where they feel like it was just a settled relationship. And you're saying assess how you feel, but they don't know the feeling of what it is to feel comfortable or to feel right. The only feeling they know is the discomfort. The only feeling they know is the anxiety. The only feeling they know is this is moving too fast, or this is moving too slow, or this is moving in a weird way, or this person is saying something I'm uncomfortable with, or this person is saying something I don't know if I trust them.
Maybe we need to get to the why then.
Get to the why.
Yeah.
Why
Like,
they're not comfortable? Why they're not what?
right. Why am I experiencing these feelings?
Okay.
So, in the particular instance that you're speaking of, which I know, and this comes up a lot, so we can say this friend of ours was recently just talking to us about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we've talked about this many, many times.
Right, right.
If it feels too fast, express that. And you're feeling some discomfort in it. If somebody is moving too fast, say that. I need you to slow down.
Yeah.
If somebody's moving too slow, you're feeling some discomfort.
Yeah.
Hey, is there some what's the word? Hesitation.
Right. Is there something holding you up?
Right. Is there some
Okay.
hesitation? So maybe it comes back to just expressing your needs. But if we're never talking about or rarely talking about what you need in relationships and you're writing people off,
Yeah.
you could be writing off somebody that is really good and really good for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But because you just dismissed it and you never expressed your need,
Right.
then where does that leave you?
I hear you. I'm still worried about what we're saying is express this thing to this other person. Express this other thing to this other person. So you're moving too fast or you're moving too slow. But in the gaps between in that space between too fast and too slow, you still have the person who's the anxious one in the making up the mind of fast or slow. So what if the person goes, and this one's just kind of broadly asking, what if the person's like, oh, you're moving too fast, and as soon as the person slows down, it's like, well, I don't know if they like me anymore. I don't know if they want to be around me anymore because they're not expressing things the way they were used to. Before you thought it was too fast. Now they've slowed down because that you've asked them to slow down, and you're like, oh, I don't know if this person likes me anymore. It's that thing where I worry about the right pace or just understanding or feeling the pace that works comfortable for you. If somebody doesn't know that level of comfort, then there is no comfort for them. I worry that there's no comfort for them. No matter how fast or how slow or what's said or what isn't said, there will always be a discomfort there because there is no personal, I want to say intonation, but that's the wrong word, but there's no personal tone or connection with, yeah, this is my center. This is where I want to be.
So do you think it's a lack of feeling safe?
I think it might be a lack of feeling self. I don't know if it's safe. It's just a lack of feeling self
Could you
to
explain that
me.
more?
I think it goes to, safe might be a part of it, but I think it goes to understanding exactly who you are, what you want, what you need, and being comfortable with knowing of what that space is for you. Because it's easy to say this person is moving too fast when for somebody else, this person maybe making jokes or doing something or saying I want to be with you might be perfect pace. Like, all right, so let's take it down to our
But
story.
remember what I say. Go for the slow burn.
Oh, definitely always go
Go
for
for
the
the
slow
slow
burn.
burn.
I mean, don't the the fast thing. I mean, I'm all about boring love. Like, go for the. I'm all about boring love. Nice and slow and intentional and I'm fully committed to connection, not just the hot fiery spark that makes you feel great, but
Yeah.
the match burns out and it's done. But like us, how far in we were only a couple weeks in, right? When I gave you that first conversation, like when I was talking about I don't want to hurt you. I probably will at some point, but I will not intentionally hurt you and I'm looking for something serious and blah 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 and yada 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 when you went to the doctor's appointment.
I know the conversation you said I don't have smoke and mirrors, but I want to get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the smoke and mirrors thing and I want to get to know you. I don't know. We weren't that
We weren't
far
that far in.
in.
Like that
Had we
was
met? I don't think we'd met
we
in
hadn't met yet.
person.
We hadn't met yet.
We hadn't met in person.
But we had talked several hours on the phone by that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, I know I had already decided that I wanted to meet you and I needed to get you to Atlanta so I could meet you before it went too far down the road. Because I was like, okay, I knew that
Yeah.
that was already flipping a corner for me because we'd already had enough the conversation. But I do know that that was within, let's say, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Let's say it was in 2 weeks calendar time, but we had a couple conversations in there because I know there were a couple of weekends where I was just free and you didn't have anything going on. I think I remember there was one conversation where we almost talked 7 hours on the phone during one day. It
Mm-hmm.
was a real long conversation, and I absolutely loved it.
You like to talk on the phone way more than I do.
I don't necessarily like to talk on the phone way more than you do. It's just that was the only way for us to be
Yeah.
together. You're 8 hours, 8 9 hours away.
Right.
And so that was the only way to do it. Had you been here locally, I would have wanted to spend the whole day with you. But that was the option that I had. And so that being said, being under 2 weeks and getting to that point, that might be way too fast for someone. But that also might be way too fast for the person who's saying, I want somebody who knows what they want. And I want somebody who wants a commitment. And I want somebody who's truly connected and wants to be in love and wants to be in love for the long term and wants to value me for who I am and really wants to just love me and shower me and build a life together and yada, 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 and this and that. And I've been waiting all my life to find this person.
That is laying on really thick.
Well, there are people who say that, though. That's what I'm saying.
There are.
There are people who say that. Like,
There are.
I mean, think about it to a certain extent before you met me, when you're in that period before you're like, I'm gonna be the best darn single person I can be,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There was a period in there where you probably were kind of saying the same thing. I want somebody who loves me. I want somebody who appreciates me. But maybe not. But
Yeah. No, the idea of like, I want someone who loves me and appreciates me. But the idea of before even meeting someone, somebody saying, I want you to be the mother of my kids and we're going to
I'm not
get
going
that
that
stuff. I'm
far.
like, whoa, that's.
I mean, yeah,
But
all
you're
this
saying
is
like, I want us to be together and all this jazz.
I mean, I'm saying all of this is relative. I'm kind of taking this out of specific scenario and just saying in the sense where somebody sees that wants that, says they want that, and then they have a person who expresses to them those things, and then there's an immediate retort that's like, "Oh, but this is too fast." And that could be 2 weeks in. It could be 4 weeks in. For some people, we know it could be 4 months in.
I know for us, in our situation, I had told myself I need someone who clearly expresses their intentions because of some things in my past with relationships. I need somebody who clearly expresses their intentions. So when you hit me up with the text message of, I want to get to know you, I was like, oh, shickety brickety.
Right.
Let me just turn this phone off.
Yeah, which is, go ahead, admit it. Let me turn this phone off. Let me leave him silent after he just said that. Let me turn this phone
Surely
off.
Surely I replied something.
I say something like that, and I'll get back to you in a couple hours. It's not going to...
I didn't do you like that. I did not ghost you like that. Don't be crazy. So you had said that. So for me, it was a realization of this is a person who's clearly expressing their intentions, which is one thing that I had like said, definitely, I want that.
Yeah.
But expressing your intentions if I want to get to know you is different than what you described of, I want us to be together. I'm going to be your future partner, stuff like that. That's not saying the same thing.
Yeah, but I think you're going to the specific situation. I'm thinking I'm using the situation as a launch point for wider,
Okay.
So I'm thinking if it's the same scenario, I mean, I fully believe in the same scenario. There are people who will say, I want somebody who's intentional. I want somebody who's going to show me love. And a person says, hey, matter of fact, I know this happens because I know it's happened with several friends of mine over time where somebody says, I want to love you. I want to be in love or something like that. But I'm intentionally here. And the person has just finished saying, like, I want this in my life. And then the person comes up and says it, and they're like, crap, they're moving too fast. And then they scurry off in the other direction.
Remember a while back we talked about chasing after the person that's not chasing you, that seems unavailable, as opposed to the good person that's there in front of you, that's sort of waiting there for you.
Yeah.
Doesn't that come back to the idea of assessing the self?
Well, that's I guess kind of where I'm getting at, the understanding self. That goes back to the other idea of the being in a suite and somebody leaving the door open for the person who ghosted them, but closing the door on the person who's like, yeah, but I actually am here and want to love you and want to treat you right, and you closed that door but left the door to,
that self-work needs to be done.
That self-work needs
to be done.
So what is that? What's the self-work? Is there one specific thing, or is it fully just understanding yourself on the broad spectrum of loving yourself? Is it just growing confidence? What is the specific self-work? Is it trauma?
I would say it's going back to your attachments, your relationship history. A lot of times it's relationship history with parents or previous partners, things along those lines.
Okay.
That prevent you from... What is modeled to you is what seems normal to you, even if it's chaotic and unhealthy. That's what feels normal to you, so that's what feels comfortable to you.
Okay.
So you will chase the person that's not available because that's what feels normal and comfortable to you, instead of turning towards and leaning into the person that is there and makes you feel good and is safe and is for you.
Which is when the good person continually gets passed over.
Right.
The slow burn gets passed over for the hot match.
Right.
The sparkler. What's the opposite of the slow burn? What's the good term for that one?
The spark.
The spark.
The spark.
Yeah. Oh, slow loving gets passed over for sparky,
So dumb.
It is. I knew it when I started it, but I had to finish
At
both
least you
sides
stopped
of
saying
it.
cool beans.
Cool beans. Bananas. So bananas.
I know. Even you think it's silly, don't you?
He doesn't count. He doesn't even know English, except for food.
So the
Hug.
idea of expressing
Bad.
your needs in a relationship, even if it's just the beginning of a relationship, if it feels uncomfortable, depending on why it feels at the speed, if the speed feels uncomfortable, even if it's just texting, you can say, hey, I need you to slow down until we actually meet each other, get to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah.
Express that need. If you're not expressing your needs in a relationship, where does that
Where does it fall?
leave you long term.
I think this is one of those areas where you get to mix in stuff like business communication too, because it's like,
Right.
one of the biggest issues with conflicts is just people having different levels of expectation. So just start out from the beginning saying, hey, this is my expectation. This is
Right.
how we talked about it.
Mhm.
This is how I like to text. This is how I like to talk. This is how I like to be in person.
You also said when I am deep in my work, I often go dark.
Oh, yeah. I
And
told
so
you that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
you
Yeah.
express if you were going to have one of those moments, then you would text me and say, "Hey, I'm going to be
Want
deep
to go
in
dark?
this work. I'm not going to
Yeah. I need to
be on
bring
my
that
phone."
back up when I'm leaving on the water. I'm going dark.
That's the thing you don't know when you're leaving on the water.
Because I'm going dark already. I'm already in the darkness. That's why I'm leaving on the water.
Undiagnosed ADD.
Oh, whatever. We're going to get out of here. We're going to answer another question on the next one.
Yeah.
See y'all. So I'm going to flip the recorder and then I'm going to